Salutations Space Cadets, and thank you so much for landing back on my channel. For today's mission, we have the patch notes for October 24th, 2023 for DC Dual Force. Now this one is a huge patch. Comes with some balance changes, obviously a new comic, and over 300 plus bug fixes. So I'm going to start off with the TLDR, just telling you guys just what the biggest things are in terms of balance changes and all the other stuff. I'm going to go through every single balance change in the TLDR. I'm going to go through some of the general changes and some of the gameplay changes, and then afterwards I'll go into more depth on those TLDR stuff if you want to stick around for my initial thoughts on that. And we're going to go over the comic card and what I think about it as well. So without further ado, let's get right into the balance patch. Alright, first and foremost, the biggest headline that they have today is over the next few weeks they're going to be issuing bat patches, which is essentially like these huge patches of bug fixes that they plan on going and covering and squishing. That's the main plan there, and they'll be doing that over the next few weeks just so the community can, be a little bit more happy in terms of that. Now for the balance changes. Now, so first and foremost, reduce the turn timer from 120 seconds to 100 seconds to improve the overall gameplay experience, because people just love to rope sometimes. And they're also working on a new solution that will dynamically reduce the turn timer based on AFK or delay from players making their moves. So stay tuned for that. So basically, essentially, they're going to have like if you're not playing anything, your timer is going to go down even faster, or you're going to get like probably like a warning message before you get kicked out of the game type of situation. Alright, so now the following leaders and cards have received balance changes. First and foremost, Superman leader now has 24 health, was 22, so that's a 2-point increase. Shazam leader now lost a point of health. Skeets is now a 1-1 instead of a 1-2. Scarecrow is a 7-3 instead of a 7-2. The clown henchman summoned by Send in the Clowns now costs a bronze resource, required no resource before. Now you might be like, why is that the case? Actually, funny enough, I just recorded a video like yesterday going over this nice combo with Ra's al Ghul. So essentially Ra's al Ghul returns all your dead cards while he's hidden. So basically you just do Send in the Clowns. They're free, so you just crash your cards into their board, and then they just keep returning your hand. You keep replaying them because they're speed, and you can just clear your entire opponent's board in one turn. Essentially, it got kind of crazy. So you're gonna see that video soon, but unfortunately, it already got nerfed. So good luck to that. Now this one's huge. Mad Hatter, it no longer costs a bronze. It is just free. You can just play Mad Hatter. Same stats, same everything. It's just free. I don't know why that happened. Alright, Electrokinesis, which is the magical spell, now does 2 to 6 damage. It was 1 to 5. So no longer will it feel bad when you hit 1 damage and you're like, bruh, I literally just needed a 2. All I needed was a 2, hits 1 out. Like, come on. Now, Hal Jordan Recruit is now a 6-6, was a 6-5. So now, 1 point is just now it's a 12-12 base without any other lantern buffs from things like Simon Baz or whatever, Jessica Cruz and stuff like that. Now it's just base 12-12 if you use this effect. That's crazy. Alright, now moving on to the gameplay side of things. They have made a change on how damage and permanent stat buffs are displayed to help better identify the status of cards in play. Permanent stat debuffs are shown in yellow, while damage is shown in red. So now, when you get debuffed by like a Morgan Le Fay or Ivy Vine or something like that, it will now have a yellow debuff, so you can better tell what's a debuff for your max health versus what is a debuff for your actual lost health. Then we have a fix an issue that caused players to sometimes not be able to play cards in front of their leader. That was a huge bug, literally a game-losing bug sometimes. Alright, then we have friendly leaders will now receive a charge if Robin is KO'd during his attack. They kind of added that already, I think maybe in the last patch, or maybe it was just like snuckily added in over the course of this past week. But yeah, I didn't put in Robin in a few decks because of that. I wasn't, I was like, the dude already dies all the time anyway. And on top of that, if he attacks and dies in the process, then, then you never feel like trading. So, and you never get the charge. But now, that's a very good change for that. Then we have using grappling gun on Thomas Wayne Batman no longer causes the recruit to reset its base health and attack value and will not lose its ability. Yeah, so there was a bug where if you grappled Thomas Wayne, he was basically just a vanilla card. He just lost his stats, doesn't gain anything afterwards. It was crazy. Our Lodama now counts gold card actions to activate their deployed ability. I didn't know it didn't before. I thought it did, but that might be why some people, like, prior to this like bug that everyone knew about where she just doesn't work at all. But there was like times where you play Lodama and you're like, I could have sworn I played 2 golds, and then she just did not count. And you're like, wait, what? So maybe it was just because you played a gold action and it wasn't actually counting that before, and now it does. And now, oh, I actually did the same thing twice. Playing Cersei when the opponent has multiple recruits with the same attack value will no longer polymorph all of them. I'm assuming when they say polymorph, it won't make them all into pigs. I mean, people were barely playing Cersei in the first place. Now it just makes it even worse. So, oh, sorry, Cersei enjoyers. Now Booster Gold is now producing a gold resource consistently when played for the first time. Literally one of my favorite cards, and it's just broken. now it works again, thankfully. Now this one is pretty big. These next 2, Carapax is now removed from gameplay when HP reaches 0 from other cards that apply a debuff, such as like Appetite for Conquest. Yeah, once it gets reduced to 0, it just dies. So it's not literally invincible. It's almost invincible. Invincible cards will now be removed from play if they are debuffed and their HP reaches 0, including leaders. So there's like also those cases where you would play your Superman, and then someone would like reduce your health like with an Ivy Vine, and you would still live until the Superman died. Now that's not going to happen. I think that's a kind of a huge change like that. I mean, it's not like game break warpingly huge, but like that comes up sometimes. All right, now on to the general changes. They removed obsolete ability text from cards to improve search in the collection page. Apparently that impacts over 200 cards. They did a little like hint at this in the creator Discord. I didn't really know what that meant. Like what they said there was some bug that they fixed that impacted over 200 cards, and I was like, what possible bug could affect 200 plus cards? But I'm assuming this means that like there was sometimes when I would type in like a certain card, or like I would look for a certain keyword or something, and it would give me options that where it literally did not apply at all. So I'm assuming that's what it meant. Like, so if you type in something and it has nothing to do with the card you're searching for, it will no longer like show you a bunch of random different cards. And then last but not least, players are now able to include spaces in their deck's name again. Thank the Lord. That was so annoying. That was like a weirdly annoying bug. I'm just like, now all my decks look ugly. Hopefully it'll like retroactively fix all my stuff. I didn't really check, but hopefully that's the case. But yeah, that's the end of the TLDR. That one's already a pretty long TLDR. We're already at 8 minutes into the video. So let's just go over the full patch notes for the most part, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth on these actual little general changes in the TLDR and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's go over the almost entire patch. We're not gonna go over everything because that is way too much. But yeah, so first and foremost, they're saying, welcome to our first major bugs and troubleshooting patch, also known as the Bat Patch, where tons of bugs and other in-game issues troubling Gotham has come to get squished. Now, what about the other cities, man? Why is it all focused on Gotham? Get Batman out of here. Sorry. Over the next few weeks, we'll be issuing bat patches to address the pressing needs for our community. We appreciate your patience and join us as we go through our first bat patch notes. So yeah, this is very exciting. I feel like the biggest thing that was hampering this game, especially for new players, considering all the drops that are coming in and, you know, coming to Steam and Epic, a lot of people that was turning off people from the game. There were just so many bugs, like game warping bugs, like where you can't place, or your deployed abilities don't work, or you can't attack with elite. I literally got that today. Like my Harley Quinn, I just couldn't attack with her for some reason. And yeah, it was just like kind of crazy. But now that they're very committed to squashing these bugs, it should now be a smooth gameplay experience. So as we approach full launch, because I believe we're still in early access, it's nice to know that we can, you know, play the game, you know. And they also threw out balance changes at the same time during this. Like, that's kind of crazy to think about. Then next we have the headlines, which are Dark Knight's Metal Part 1 comic venture is now live. Now this comes with the Batman Who Laughs Recruit. This is a super rare gold 9/7. Now, it has chaotic, naturally, and your characters with chaotic are invincible on your turn. Now, that is kind of interesting. There's not a ton of things that are chaotic right now. We have like amygdala, we have the actual chaotic that's applying through Batman Who Laughs and things of the sort. But I think it's good overall, but it's not gonna be like a must-have, I don't think. But I could see it getting better and better over time as they release more chaotic cards and things of the sort. Then you also get this nice little profile icon. You can't really click into it, but I also did get a new bundle into the shop. Right now we have a good old Halloween cosmetic bundle coming with all of these various... Yo, this is actually pretty sick. I haven't looked at it yet. All these various card backs. Whoa, no, hey, let's not buy that. All right, this is what it looks like. So, ooh, what the heck is going on with his nose? We got that bat one. We got this Hal Jordan one getting absolutely bodied by people. Then we have a Zatanna getting eaten. What the? All right, that's gonna spark some fan art. Then we have my boy Flash. No, being pulled down. Leave my boy alone. And then you get a and then I'm assuming you get that it says AA Zatanna pack. Do you get Zatanna themselves, or are you getting that? Oh yeah, you get this alt art Zatanna right here. Now that's pretty nice for 900 gems. And if you didn't already have Zatanna, it'll unlock it for you. Now keep in mind, you still have to unlock it in the actual packs page eventually, but this can give you early access to certain things. So if you say, for instance, you don't own certain leaders, you can get their various bundles and it'll preemptively unlock those leaders for you until you pull them yourself. So that's pretty nice. Now going back into the notes for the balance changes, the turn timer thing is really nice. It will stop people from roping you or BMing you. I've had this one player that just every time I faced them and then I beat them, and then on the final turn when I'm about to beat them, they just rope me they just disconnect and then just nothing happens. I have to wait the full turn timer each time. But it's also nice to know what the actual turn timer is. I don't think they've ever really officially stated what the turn timer was. So it was nice to know. Now it was 120 seconds, so it was a 2-minute turn timer, and now it will go to like a 1 minute and 40-second turn timer. And that they're gonna also dramatically reduce the turn timer based on AFK or delays. Now that is a godsend. Now the following leaders and cards have been received balance changes. We have a Superman leader. I mean, give him Superman a little extra attack. Can't go wrong. I mean, it's still not gonna really make Superman like real super playable or anything like that, but it's like a nice little thing. Same thing with Shazam. It's not gonna make Shazam unplayable. It's just a one little point knocked off. It's fine. I think they raised it anyway a while back, so they're kind of just making it go down just a little bit more. Now the Skeets one is kind of interesting. I guess they just want a more counterplay to Skeets, so it doesn't always draw a card, because you usually at least get 1 gold off of Skeets most of the time. If you have, because it's a free card, you just play your bronze and then just play Skeets behind and said your bronze thing, and then you probably getting at least 1 gold card off of it. So now it's counterplayed to those Batarangs that we all love and various other 1 damage pings, which is, I guess, nice. Kind of sad for me, but as an energy enjoyer, but it's whatever. Scarecrow, I did think Scarecrow died a little bit too easily. I mean, I don't think the 7/3 is gonna make it live that much more, but it's like one of those things where it's just like a free change, It's not gonna hugely impact it, but it's still like a little nice thing to have. Then we have the Clown Henchman that I was mentioning before. You can no longer do that Ra's al Ghul combo that I was just talking about earlier in the video. It now costs bronze resources. There's still a few cards that are free, such as like Rioters and things like that, but those don't have speed. So I guess it makes sense. They're just preemptively doing that before that could potentially become an issue. It could become an issue one day. Now the Mad Hatter one. Now that one is huge, dude. It requires no resource, bro. You could just play Mad Hatter for free, and it draws you a card. Well, it draws both people a card, and it'll buff your future stuff, so you can protect it on the first turn too. Inmates. Oh no, I don't want to see any more inmates. Next we have Electrokinesis. Goes from a 1 to 5 damage to now it goes from 2 to 6. So no longer will you get screwed by 1 damage pings when you just needed 2. There's so many more extra things you can kill with Electrokinesis now that it's base 2 damage. And there's some other things that you couldn't kill before at max 5 damage that you could potentially kill at 6 damage, which is a really nice touch. Then we have the Hal Jordan Recruit, now a 6/6 now instead of a 5/5. I mean, it is an ultimate card. I mean, I feel like when you play Hal Jordan, he had enough stats. I didn't really think he needed particularly more. Plus, you can buff him over time for things like Simon Baz and what's her name, Jessica Cruz and stuff like that. But I mean, Lantern's getting a little bit more and more stuff over time, I guess. Now moving on to some of this, I'm going to refer to the TLDR that we had earlier for this. We have the gameplay side where it has the permanent stat debuff. It's really nice to have that nice little indicator going on, because it's just like a lot of times you're checking your like you play a bandage on your leader and like, wait, oh, my max health is actually 8. Oh, whoops, I guess I just wasted that bandage. So it's nice to have a little bit of a visual indicators instead of having to click into the leader to find out. Then we have the fixed issue that caused players to not sometimes play the cards in front of their leaders. That was like one of the biggest bugs that existed in the game, like one of the biggest game warping bugs that existed in the game. So pretty much almost all of those are fixed in this patch, but there's still a bunch of known issues that they still want to go over, and that's probably going to be in the next patch. But if you can check out the balance patch, or this whole patch, in the description down below. I will link the patch notes there if you don't know how to get to the DCDualForce.com. Then the friendly leaders will now receive a charge of Robin's KO'd. I feel like that's very good for Robin. Like, I think that also works with Lobo now too, right? They didn't really say that, but I guess maybe they already put it in a previous patch. The fact that if you you attacked and it died and you just didn't get the stuff, you're just like, bruh. Like Lobo's already hard to pull off. Then if it dies while you're trying to get that your ability off, and then you just get nothing, it's just like, dude. And then now this grappling gun is also huge. It just made now you can actually grapple, or like it's like if you get like arrested. Your Thomas Wayne gets arrested, it is now no longer unplayable, which is very nice to see. And then Lodama with the counting with actions. Now, like I said before, I didn't know that she didn't before, but that's to really speed up the process for Lodama as well. I don't think I want to see Lodama any more than I do currently. Hey, I was kind of happy when she was bugged, to be honest. Alright, now the Cersei one seemed kind of unnecessary. It seemed like it was a cool little niche thing where sometimes if it had the same attack that you hit multiple things. Cersei wasn't really super played in the first place, but now that it lost this, it's just like, why? Why even play Cersei? You might as well just play all these other magical spell stuff. Now the Thank the Lord booster goes back again, like I said. Now going to the Carapax and Invincible cards. Now those scare me, man. I mean, like, I like when the invincible stuff is actually invincible. I mean, the ones where the leaders were reduced to 0 and they still lived, that one was kind of silly. But it still made sense, you know. It was like a buzzer beater, you know, down to the wire. You had to kill this raid boss Superman in order to finish out and close out the game. Can they beat you before that, or will you win and close it out? Yeah, it's kind of nice. And then the Carapax. I mean, it's not like Carapax is super good anyway, and now the fact that I can just die to like good old Appetite of Conquest. We love that card when you get Deimos and Appetite of Conquest, and then you die. Well, you need one more of those things, but yeah, kind of unfortunate. But I mean, to be fair, it's probably warranted, to be honest. It probably is kind of silly where it has 0 health and it's just. I mean, I don't think Appetite should reduce to 0 anyway, but it's whatever. All right, and then this one where like the obsolete ability text impacts over 200 plus cards. Cool. Nice. Now it won't be as annoying. Trying to search for a card and you get like filled in like 5 other cards that had nothing to do with the thing you typed in. So honestly, that's nice. 200 cards were impacted by that. That's kind of crazy to think about. And then players are now able to include spaces in their deck names. Now that was a very, very annoying bug, and I'm very glad that they finally fixed said bug. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the comics and stuff like that. What other things are you looking forward to in DC Dual Force? Put that down in the comment section below. Are you excited for the vigilante mode eventually coming? Are you excited for training mode? Any future comics that you would like to see? I would love to know that. But that's going to be really all for this video. Make sure you like it and subscribe. About 68% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. We're trying to hit monetization on the channel. We need 1,000 subscribers. We're about to hit 200 as the recording of this video, so that's pretty hype. So if you are willing to subscribe, I greatly appreciate that, and turn the notification bell so you're notified for whenever we upload a new balance patch video, or you know, we have our meme decks or our fun decks, or sometimes our serious competitive decks. And we do stream these games live on the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AgentXSpacely Monday through Friday, mostly Monday through Thursday, but sometimes Friday. But yeah, that's going to be all from me. I'll be blasting off, and I'll see you soon, Space Cadets.